Hi everybody, so I am simultaneously on Facebook and Instagram Live just saying hello. I thought I would jump on and say hello and just get a wee bit of FaceTime with those of you that are new followers, those of you that have been following me for ages. If you've got questions, just chuck them in at me and yeah, I can answer. So especially if you're a new follower, you may not know much or anything about me, so feel free to ask away. First thing I'm going to speak about is I've got workshops next weekend in London at Indaba Yoga, so on the Saturday and on the Sunday. So that is Soul of the Wolf, which is a backbend theme workshop looking at weaving in some of the different archetypal properties of wolf and tribe. And then the following day is pike pressing, so using forest yoga techniques to progress through handstands, gravity surfing, but still suitable for all levels. Those of you who are saying hi, hello, just say hi when you join in. If you get any questions, just chuck them my way. Like I was saying, I've got Instagram and I've got Facebook. So if you ask a question, I will do my best to answer. It can be yoga based or other. Keep it clean, of course. And as it comes through, I'm getting these questions rolling up and I will endeavour to write down any questions that I'll come back to. So I will hopefully come back. And hi to all of those of you that are joining in so far. I'm just going to get myself a wee pen. Oh, it's going to be a highlighter, that'll do. And yeah, and it can be about anything. So some of you may have seen stuff on the posts in the last few days. Some of you are asking if I'm okay. I'm fine. I am okay. I'm currently looking at my dog who's staring out the window. Super cute. So some of your questions are coming in, so I'm just going to write them down. So first one, how are you and your boyfriend? We are good. He is at work just now, so I was just teaching class. He's still teaching class. I'll be back later. I should probably make him dinner at some point. So thanks, Mason. We are good. Somebody was asking about my Insta story. I'm assuming you mean the one about the Lufthansa thing. So if you have a wee look at that, it was just an email that came through. It's a petition about some sort of hate rhetoric that was coming out of some Lufthansa aircrew. A wee video that I posted up on my Instagram stories if you want to check it out. Some of you are asking, how is my back? So it's been an interesting thing. So when my back was starting to get really sore, I think I was panicking and I was really stressed about it, and that didn't help with anything. As I went through the process, I went for the MRI and the guy told me what was wrong and was really on like a downer about it, and so I was really panicked. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have to quit my job, I'm going to have to do all this stuff. And then I went to see my physio and he was saying actually no, quite the opposite, that if it wasn't for me doing a yoga practice, if it wasn't for me doing all of those things, then I certainly wouldn't be able to move. I'd actually be in a wheelchair, which was quite terrifying. So that just verified that actually what I'm doing is good and I don't need to worry about it too much. So I'm really glad that I got that. So thank you for asking. It is feeling better. I need to work out how to stabilize it more. I'm trying to reduce like the sort of stress pressures and sort of financial pressures that kind of make it trip out. Because when I'm stressed like that, it always kind of buggers up. Someone else is asking, how do you cure leg tendons? I am not sure what you mean. So Firefly, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Have you torn them? You can give me a wee bit more info. How do you suggest getting back into a daily practice? So it depends. I mean, I think it's quite normal for people to kind of fall in and out of love with anything. For example, I fall in and out of love with porridge. I've not had it in a year. I used to have it every morning. I'm sure I'll fall back in love with it at some point, but I'm not going to stress about it. I think if I stressed about it, I would end up not liking porridge even more. So I would say, like, if there were aspects of your yoga practice that you really liked, then maybe do those parts. So that might mean that you do like the breathing exercises. You might do that in your bed even and start shifting up where you're doing your yoga practice so it actually meshes in with your daily life a wee bit better and see if that works. Any advice for a 51-year-old thinking of taking up yoga? Yeah, take it up. Just go. Most of the people that I teach, actually, my average sort of participant age is from the age of 60 plus. So we never usually have too many issues. Advice for somebody doing yoga with hypermobility, you need to, it's very simplistic, obviously, it depends where you're hypermobile, etc. But my general advice is not to push massive flexibility training to get your strength built up. So we do a lot of work with people working with resistance, muscle testing, and getting their muscles strong, so they're not pushing too hot, too fast. Facebook, if you're wondering where these questions are coming from, there's way more coming through on my Instagram. Just feeding you guys through these. What are my thoughts on hot yoga? I like being warm when I do practice. I do not like being hot. I think that there's a lot of health benefits ascribed to hot yoga that are nonsense. Like, oh, it's detoxifying you, raising your internal body temperature. If your internal body temperature changed too much, you would be dead. So all you're doing is cooling yourself down by sweating more. It's not a detox, you're just getting wet. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the way to be. Can I upload tutorials? So, Mohammed, I have plenty of tutorials online. So if you check out Mat to Mat, you can have a little look on there. If you go onto my Tint, there are lots of programs on there, 5-day programs, 7-day programs, and a free class. There's also stuff on my YouTube, so just go on there. It's not obviously on my Instagram, because Instagram gives you 1 minute, and I can't give you very much in 1 minute, even though I think I answered your question in 1 minute. Just running through your questions. Curcuma. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who come into the food shop looking for turmeric and pear juice as like an anti-inflammatory for sore joints. I mean, that may work. I would say if your tendons are hurting after splits training, maybe focus on engagement more than just like hammering into the tendons. I used to get that, but then I started working in a slightly different way. How to start beginning, advice for beginners. My advice for a beginner is, like, you can start with videos. I always think it's good to have a few pointers from a yoga teacher. If there's none in your area, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't afford it. Like, you can afford to look on YouTube. Like, if you can't afford to look on YouTube, okay, fair enough. But there's so much on there. Yes, you'll have to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, but definitely get on there. Somebody's saying, I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad I'm alive too. Thank you very much. Oh wow, there's loads of questions here. Do you have any advice not to give up on my fitness journey? What is the stimulus that's making you want to give up on your fitness journey? What advice can you give somebody who wants to build stamina for exercise and getting in shape and generally healthy? So, get a dog. If you are fond of animals, we walk our dogs 3-4 times a day. As you know, they keep us up. They will also tell you that they want out, so you don't really have much choice. That's a pretty great way to get yourself out there, building stamina. Sometimes we go out, I used to go out with ankle weights on. I don't recommend you necessarily do that, but it certainly will increase your basic amount of exercise by getting them moving. Wow, there's so many questions coming in. I will have to come back to some of these. Do you think someone with lower back problems would be able to benefit from taking up yoga? Hi, I have lower back problems. I've always had them. And yoga, as my physio has told me, is the only thing that has stopped me from being in a wheelchair now. So I would say that one is a big, big yes. Have I ever been to Brazil? The answer is no, sadly. You can find my book online. It's not available in the USA yet, but we're working on that. Go on Amazon and look up Kilted Yoga. You can find it. AP Brand. I've taken up yoga recently. Should the teacher be correcting positions? I'm completely new and just been to a few classes. The teacher doesn't seem to correct positions at all. Lots of teachers have different standpoints on this. Forest yoga is very much with the idea that hands-on assisting can help people work out where their body is in space, help with proprioception, and also help give them a feel for where the pose is. Now, taking into account, you also need to be able to account for every single person's change in mobility, connective tissue, injury, all that history, and a lot of times that information isn't available and teachers opt to not do hands-on assist. Now, when I do hands-on assist, it is more guiding somebody to feel something rather than pushing somebody deeper into a pose. But if somebody was in a pose and I was like, that looks like it might be hurting them, or it is hurting them, and they're just in it anyway, yes, I think the teacher should stand in. Never be afraid to be like, hey, is this right? Am I doing this okay? That's what I did. But then I got banned from quite a few classes. So maybe don't take my point on that. Are my eyes grey or green? I'm not sure. They look green on Facebook, they look blue on here. So, how's the tartan coming along? I'm hoping to hear next week about that. I'm so excited. It's really cool. Dawn Armitage, what is the best exercise for toning stomach muscles? Core work. We do, if you go onto my YouTube, you will see Forest Yoga abdominals. I find those are really good. I do those pretty much every single day. Those are really helpful. I also do lots of movements where I've got my hands on blocks, I'm lifting my hips up, so I'm getting really good core engagement that way. So I would give that a try, Dawn. David, I hope you've been well. I hope the house is set up. It is set up, but we're wanting to move already. Is that bad? Balance issues and pain from back and knee replacements, yes or no? So Shelley Brown on Facebook, I am not sure what you mean. If you can give me a wee bit more issues. Like obviously, I'm not sure, it says back and knee replacements. Have you had a back replacement or just knee replacements? Give me a wee bit more info. I can hopefully give you a wee tip. Danny, thank you for your message. That means a lot. Those of you saying you like my hair, this is what my hair looks like when I've been caught in a torrential downpour of rain, after it being a mess anyway, but thank you for your compliment. I'll take it. Pamela, best yogic exercise to aid relaxation and sleep. I'm a big fan of Sitali, which is when you curl your tongue and you inhale through that like this. And you inhale as long as you can, and then slightly pause in the breath, and then long exhale. I also like to do sort of nidra-based exercises, so it's almost like I'm a big fan of like the body scan. So starting like send your left foot, send your right foot, sends both feet, send your shin, your other shin, both shins, like that, working systematically throughout your body. I think that one works really well for that. Daria, you get banned from my classes. That's a shame. I think you'll find that you didn't ban me from classes, but you banned a certain type of my leggings from your classes. That's what you banned. Did you like Riviera Maya? I did indeed like Riviera Maya. It was lovely. It's also the first proper holiday that I've had in a long time, because most of the times I'm away, I am working, teaching, and it looks like I'm having like restful, lovely time, so I'm usually doing work. Have you ever thought of doing retreats south of France maybe? Yes, but I always get really kind of stuck with like the organisation of them, so stick with me. It's something that I do want to do. Do you use chiropractors to help mobility? I have done. Not necessarily to help my mobility. Sometimes my back just gets to a point where it just is like totally stuck, and sometimes an adjustment can be really helpful. Facebook questions. It rains in Scotland. Yes, it rains in Scotland. How much time do you take to practice in your self-practice daily versus teaching? So I like to at least, if I'm teaching an hour, I like to practice an hour. So that's an hour of yoga practice. If I'm teaching a few classes, then I'll take like a 90-minute practice for myself, and that just gets me kind of more in the zone and a little bit more on it with what I want to do. So I absolutely detest it if stuff gets in the way of me doing a yoga practice on a teaching day. With that said, if you look at my post today, it does say like when I don't get to do my yoga practice, I'm a really growly dour bastard. Like if I've not done my yoga practice, you would not want to know me. If you don't want to know me anyway, that's fine. Shelley, thanks for more information. Knee replacements has caused balance issues. Should I still try yoga? I mean, like balancing on one leg is kind of like massively overrated. So in a lot of my classes, like standing on one leg isn't necessarily massively important, but I think getting your inner thighs switched on and getting those muscles kind of back to some reasonable tone would be great. Can I still try yoga? Back disc issues. Would yoga help or hurt? It very much depends what kind of yoga you do. So forest yoga has been really styled around, and here I'm biased because obviously I'm a forest yoga teacher, around disc issues and a lot of injuries. So there's lots of modifications that one can do to modify. One of my favorite things is putting like a rolled up mat at the inner thigh, so it's like got a good give to it. Squeezing down the inner thighs while lifting the hips up into bridge. So shoulders are down, feet on the floor, hips are up, and squeezing the roll at the inner thighs. You can then use your hands around the pelvis to physically push the pelvis away from the ribs, and that can really help decompress the back. But you can go onto my YouTube and have a little look. There are some little videos on there for lower back stuff, even using sort of tennis balls to massage some of the tighter parts. Let me just have a wee look, see. Glasgow or Edinburgh? That's a toughie. I grew up with Glasgow, but then I ended up kind of living in Edinburgh for a wee while. They both are different and both have their own qualities. From Dundee, it's cheaper to get to Edinburgh, so that's kind of in its favour. Let me look, see. I love your yoga poses. Thank you. Thank you for replying to my message the other day. Oh, thank you. You're very welcome. Some of you do message me, and actually it goes into like this DM folder where it's filtered, and so it takes me a wee while to kind of get back around to looking at those, so don't get too offended if you send it again. Like I get roughly 200 of those messages a day. Yeah, so if you sent me one yesterday, it's like all the way down, and I just don't have time to go in, allow the message, see the message, reply to the message. So just, if you stick with it, I will try for sure. How did the photo shoot go in Houston? It was good. I only got a few of the photos back though, which is a shame. I posted them up and tagged the photographer in them, like on Instagram, and then because the tag was a tag rather than me saying this photo is by, even though they were mentioned in the text, they were really upset with that and didn't give me the rest of the photos. And I was like, it's like, okay, like, still like 70,000 people have like clicked on your thing. All right. AZ Art Group, how old am I? I'm 31. The beard adds 20 years. Thanks, Tracy. It's very nice of you. David, you're very welcome. It's an ongoing thing. The stuff about mental health and depression. It feels at late that it's really striking out and hitting a lot of people close to me, and I don't want to lose anyone else to it. Dan, are you really offering to be my PA? I warn you, a lot of the messages I get sent are absolute filth. Filth. Would never let my mother see them. Do you have any suggestions for quad strengtheners? I have pain in my knee for the last few months. So that same one I was just talking about of doing bridge, laying on your back, roll at the inner thighs, I find that phenomenal for leg strength. There are many other things. I'm just trying to think of best things that I can give you for that. So doing like a lunge position, tucking the back toes under and just lifting the knee up, you're going to start developing a lot of strength in your legs for that. I think that would be a really great way to start building it up. Pain in the knee, I'm wondering if it's strength that you need or whether it's a little bit more stretching of your quadriceps though. So that's usually my go-to. My other one would be getting in to manipulate your calves. Especially so like gastrocnemius, like the sort of love heart part of your calf, and then down just below that. I think that would be a really great place to work into with a tennis ball. Vera, you're very welcome. Right, coming back onto this screen. Thank you for those of you that are appreciating the beard. My nickname is Tom. It's nice to have you, Tom. Where do I get those leggings? These ones? These ones were a gift. Actually, I don't know what company this is. Priya Activewear. Lots of people are now offering to be my PA now that they see that I get just basically filth. Virtual assistant. If you're serious, you do realize that there is actually work there to be done on that. Dry needling done. I would say like get in there with a massage ball, like a tennis ball. Get right in there. Hi, bond. There's now dogs trying to get my attention. Beard is glorious. Keep it forever, please. Alan doesn't like the... So my massage is kind of coming in because I'm trying to get my little curl back here. It's getting there. It's getting there. Like in profile, it's getting there. He really doesn't like it. He really doesn't like it. Because he says I look like an Ewok. Like if I've got a hood on. Like it's like Ewok lips. Hey Roz. Nice to see you on there. Are you still having issues with the rail? Maya Sotis, you say no curl? I only want a little curl. Just a little bit. Just so I can play with it. And I can sort of like sit back and look at people in cafes and just twirl my moustache. It's a very niche thing to want to do, I suppose. Hello. So, there's a visitor. Pups. Pup visitors. Oh gosh, it's the time already. 20 minutes on here. Oh wow. Oh, so now I'm telling you that what I want to do with my beard and you're actually suddenly okay with it. You guys are funny. Okay, well I think actually I have covered all the questions so far. Oh. Can you suggest something to reduce calf size? Do you, like, how much are you walking? Like, me, personally, I, like, see when I see a big calf, oh, it's the only reason I'm with Alan. That's the only reason I'm with Alan. He's got lovely calves. I have no idea what that means. Okay, I'm a new yoga teacher in Canada. I'm wondering what your take is on hands-on assist and adjustments. So I actually covered that a wee bit earlier on. So I'm leading a teacher training soon in Dundee, and actually the first day is going to be about going over hands-on assists. But a lot of trainings, there's no time given to quality of touch. What kind of touch? What is appropriate touch? What isn't appropriate touch? What information do you need before you touch somebody? Is touch even required? Is there more to assisting than simply putting your hands on somebody? I've been in so many classes where the teacher's style of adjustment was basically sitting on my back and being like, have you gone deep enough yet? And personally, I think that is ridiculous. So in general, when you receive an assist, especially a forest yoga assist, the assist isn't there to necessarily take you deeper into the pose. So it's not like inhale, exhale, boom, in you go. It's more of a, like, if this intent is to breathe into the chest, is to give somebody a focal point, like breathe here, inhale to here, lift this part. On exhale, maybe relax that part a wee bit more. I'm not saying get in there to like stroking everyone up and everything, but I feel like that as a way of working with people works really well. But there's a lot to take into consideration. Is the person happy to receive touch? Should you ask for permission? A personal preference on that one. A lot of the people that come to my classes know that there's hands-on assist. That is mentioned. They know that they can say no. All right, that position is there. The second part is, what is their injury history? What is their history around touch? What do they need? Are they asking for an adjustment? Like what is the purpose? I think if you can answer those questions and you're happy with your answer, then yeah, totally go ahead with it. Hey pup. Hey pup. Yeah, David, it'd be lovely to see you again if I'm in the States. It'd be lovely to see you. But, you know, maybe less kilts in that heat. Just getting back some of these questions. Hey, Nick's gaping. Hi. Alan's coming back from work and then we're going to get straight to eye masks and photos. Don't you worry. I have knee valgus and it reduces my mobility in my legs. Do you think forest yoga would help me with that? I'm not 100% sure. So, not reduces mobility. So the one thing that I really like about forest yoga is that it is incredibly adaptive. Like there's it's very much, the teacher is very much trained in a way that is, let's find a way that you can do the pose in a way that's giving you something that is like what the pose is doing. You're getting the engagement without necessarily feeling like you're compromising the injury area or not. I mean, we've done a lot of work. A lot of this stuff has led me to work with people with like cerebral palsy and all kinds of physical conditions. And it's while the condition itself may not change, the person can create a practice that they are proud of, and a practice that they can do, and a practice that will give them so much else. It will give them strengthening, it will give them flexibility, it will give them many, many more things beyond the limitation of an injury or a disability. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Poses for, I didn't see your answer about Riviera Maya. So yes, I really enjoyed Riviera Maya. It was lovely. It was also lovely to have a holiday for the first time in ages. It was really great. It was also my first holiday with Alan, so it was really nice to get away, just the two of us. Any suggestions for the next one would be very, very welcome. Would be very, very welcome. In case you're wondering, okay, clarification. When my hands disappear down here and you see movement, is because there is a little puppy face right here, little Amy, being super cute. He's got his head on my lap saying hi. Okay, some of you are asking questions like, can you see me? No. I can see myself in the screen, that's it. I can't see anyone else. I'm really up for like split screen discussions. Can you speak in other languages? Oh, you don't want to hear me do that. I got a qualification in French in high school. I can usually like pick that back up, kind of. I studied Latin and Greek. So actually when I'm abroad, especially European languages, I feel like I can like pick up little snaffles of it. Take me to like a Roman temple and I will translate my way around that place for you. But, you know, take me outside of anywhere else and I'm not gonna be any use to you. Your skin doesn't look brunette. You're difficult to tan. I know. It's because I got some ginger going on in my bloodline. I do take a tan. I go. This is the brownest I've been in forever. I'm usually way more pale. Do I like Border Collies? Like, I'm a big fan of, first up, so I grew up with setters. So we had Irish setters, Gordon setters. Then I had labs. And now I've got mutts. I quite like mutts. Collies. I see videos of collies online. I'm like, wow, they're so intelligent. How amazing. But then whenever I meet collies, they're never very nice. Like, they always get like nipped or pinched or whatever. It might just be my luck. Some of you offering to practice French with me, that might be disastrous. Wait. Oh, puppy. Most of you probably, like, you've all seen Amy. He's super cute. Come here. Come up here. Hello, baby. Hello. People want to see you. There he is. Oh. Somebody wants to play. Ah! I see you, pup. I see you. So, that's what happens when you stop touching him. It goes a bit crazy. So, Facebook, I'm going to sign off from you guys, but if you get any questions, or especially if you want to ask me about workshops in Dabo next week, then let me know. Ciao. So, which country and other countries I want to visit? I would love to see more of Canada. When I was there was an ice storm and I couldn't see anything, and that was a bit soul-destroying. Oh, thank you for thinking that Amy's super cute. I think he's super cute too. Aren't you? Little lad. He's such a sweetie. Oh. What are you doing? Pardon me as I dry my leggings over there. Amy. Hi. You're so lovely. My little buddy. hi, can I sign? I'm going to buy your book. Can I sign it for me? If we see each other, I'm more than happy to sign the book for you. It'd be anytime. Just let me know. Oh, is that good? Is that good? Must be good. Right, guys, I am going to get some food on. I'm going to get cooking for Alan getting home from work. But it's lovely to speak to you guys. And yeah, if you get any questions, just drop me a line. It's always good to kind of hear from you and speak to you and whatnot, because you don't do this very often. So until next time, I bid you adieu. There you go. You had another language right there. Some of you missed it.